And we're back. What's up, nerds? When I saw this was a thing, I knew I had to have it. This is the Upper Deck DC Annual trading card hobby box. I'm pretty even DC Marvel historically, but I grew up more of a DC person. One of the reasons for that was the original DC Cosmic trading cards that came out in, I believe, 1990 or 1991. It was right around the time my dad was reading me comics and I was first getting into it. They were great comic cards. They told the story through the golden age all through the modern age, and they left a huge impact on me. So when I saw that DC was doing cards in the modern time, I figured I had to get some. So let's check them out. All right, here we're back. Now it is 16 packs of 6 cards each. This is the first 8 packs. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in one video or two, so let's just open these 8 and see where we are. Now, as a DC fan, I like all the classics. I like the Trinity, as they call it, you know, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. My original favorite growing up was Green Lantern. Still is a favorite. But as far as in general, I love Booster Gold. I love Blue Beetle. They're 2 of my favorites of all time, so I'm really hoping to get a card of each. Fire and Ice, right off the bat, awesome. From the Justice League in the early 90s. They played a big part in the Death of Superman series. Silver Banshee, not familiar. I'm not sure what this is. Dawn of DC Outsiders, number 1. It's a pretty cool card. Awesome right off the bat, a new version of Steel, Natasha Irons. I assume that's John Henry Irons' daughter. And the Drummer. So out of this, I'm loving the art style. Very varied. Clearly they used a lot of different artists on this. We can expect things with covers. We can expect some different foil. So far to the first pack, Fire and Ice is my favorite. Aquaman, awesome. A great look at Arthur Curry there. The Boom, another member of the Flash family. That's called a Star Rookie. That's probably why I haven't heard of them. Here's an Aquaman black and white card, and it has a different sheen. As you can see, the rest are kind of glossy, and this is more of a matte, which is pretty nice. So I'll put him with the other Aquaman. Ravager looks like a female Deathstroke the Terminator. And Gorilla Grodd, awesome. One of the all-time coolest, one of the best Flash villains. And that's a great looking card right there. Awesome. All right, pack 3. I will say, with the cards being so thin and only 6 in a pack, it does feel like when you're opening the pack, you might bend them, so be really careful. I almost think they should have gone with less packs and more cards in each pack, but Batwoman, never been a real favorite of mine. Big Barda, always been a favorite of mine. I remember her card in the Cosmic card series I was talking about earlier, and it was always really cool. DC Annual of Elastigirl, I believe that is. Not familiar. Mirror Master, another of Flash's Rogues Gallery, and that's with a really cool holograph there. Let's see. So far, no numbered cards, but a little Damian Wayne. Put him over Fire and Ice. That time they get covered. Mary Marvel. Lately, with the whole Marvel, Miss Marvel, you know, Marvel Girl, Shazam, everything is getting very confusing with the whole Marvel character line, regardless if it's DC or Marvel doing it. Garo the Conqueror. I assume that's a takeoff of Starro? This says Beast World, so it looks like Garo is a version of Starro taking on various animals below. I'll have to read about that, Garo. Titans Beast World from January 2024. Huh. Another black and white. This one for Batwoman. Pretty awesome. Poison Ivy with an interesting afro. Never really saw her with that look. And Superboy, Con-El. Now that's my favorite look for Superboy. That's the one from the Reign of Supermen, or Reign of the Supermen back in 1994. I liked him in the Eradicator best. So I'm glad that he's getting that look again and not just the Superboy from Earth 2 or the angry Superboy look we always get. All right. Connor Hawke, I always liked him as a version of Green Arrow. Ooh, Superman #1 from Dawn of DC. Nice. That's a cool card. It shows, Lois Lane. Looks like Perry White, and then some people I'm not familiar with. The Flash, Jay Garrick. Another awesome Flash card here. Loving the hologram. There we go. Blue Beetle Ted Cord. That's awesome. That is the hit of the night so far. That has made it all worth it. Blue Beetle Ted Cord right there. It's a base card. Apparently, he is making appearances in the current Blue Beetle book, so I will be checking that out. Giganta, not familiar. Sorry, I'm a little elated over that Blue Beetle. It's good to see him getting some love lately. When I don't know if he's alive or dead in what timeline. It was nice when they made him semi-important for about 10 minutes. And then immediately killed him. But it is what it is. Spoiler alert, but that happened like 20 years ago. So if you're behind on that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Starfire. Awesome character. Wonder Girl. Not familiar. I assume that's the... Oh, I'm sorry. That's like the Robin version that's the Robin for Wonder Woman. Cyborg, Beast World, interesting. So even Cyborg goes and fights the beasts. So there he is fighting some of those. What were they called? Barrows? Garros. They were called Garros. Mary Marvel. And Sandman. All right. Pack 7. Yeah. And reveal. Awesome. Green Lantern, Alan Scott, the Golden Age Green Lantern, where his weakness was wood. Very strange. It's a good thing he was growing up after the Industrial Revolution, so there was actual metal in the world, but Alan Scott is awesome. So that's another card that I'm very thankful to have. Oh, no way. Cool. Got a Wally West. Now, I mean, I like Barry Allen, but Wally West is probably my version of the Flash. I grew up with him. I like his Jeff Johns' run with with Wally West in the 2000s with the Rogues Gallery. How they built up his Rogues Gallery was really good. Now this is interesting. What card is this? Punchline. Now I know that's Joker's recent second in command, like his new Harley Quinn. Backscatters. Peel back and apply. Oh, so this is this is a sticker. Nice. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Wasn't expecting that. Raven. And Ghostmaker. Okay. All right, pack number 8. There we go. Lex Luthor. Interesting look at Lex there. He's in jail and he's playing chess with Superman on the board and Luthor on the board, looks like. This one's upside down. That's weird. King Shark. Nice. I enjoyed King Shark in the Suicide Squad movie. That was one of the... I didn't even know that was Sylvester Stallone at first, and then once you know it's him, you can't not hear it. Steelworks. Didn't know Steel got his own book, and that would make sense because we saw his daughter earlier in this box break. No way. Onomatopoeia. I remember him from something I had read. I forget what now. Number 37 out of 699. Not bad. So this is numbered. But more important than it being numbered, it's an awesome see-through card. So it's got different holographic elements, but also see-through. That's pretty sweet. And then another Wally West Flash. He must have had a real resurgence. Usually they've been real hard on Barry. They've been really excited about Barry Allen the last few years. So this is not expected. So, all right, I'm going to take a quick break, clean this up, so that we're ready for the other 8 packs. All right, here we are. Final 8 packs. Already seeing something cool on the back. Awesome. Impulse. Another member of the Flash family. He was big in the 90s. I'm not sure why. I know it was I think it was Bart Allen. Ursa. I'm not sure what she's from. I thought she was in the ocean, but I'm thinking of Ursula, perhaps, from Little Mermaid. Dawn of DC Annual Superboy. Nice. Ooh, a cool Black Adam variant. And John Kent, another version of Superman. They come out with so many family members. I understand you need new versions of Superboy and Supergirl and etc. for different generations, but it gets a little confusing. Black Canary, Green Arrow's good friend, sometimes girlfriend, sometimes wife. I don't know anymore. I've lost track. Black Adam, but with color this time. Ooh, is that the Sandman? Indeed it is. I love that color. Look at that. It's almost an 80s type of Miami neon hue, and then the yellow jumps out. Awesome card. Goes right with that Superboy. Ooh, Robin Night Terror. It looks like a zombie version of Robin, perhaps? Not familiar with that at all. And Heartless. No idea who that is. The thing with falling in and out of comics or just reading certain books is that you know the established characters, they always pop up, but then they add these random characters. Who knows if Heartless will be around in a year, if they won't. There's so many characters that have come and gone that you totally forget about, but you think they're going to be a big deal. Good old Steel, John Henry Irons, like we were talking about earlier. Now I have the full set, him, his daughter, and the card with issue 1. Fire and Ice. I didn't know they had their own book right now. So that's pretty awesome. Welcome to Smallville. Small Town, Big Trouble. Since this was from last year, I could probably pick up a trade paperback or at least the issues as a back issues, so they might not be that expensive. Big Barda. There's my girl. See, I didn't know there was a Flash that wore purple, an Avery Ho Flash. She must be new. Looks like she appears in Speed Force number 1. Who knows if she's still around? And Man-Bat. Now that's a cool take on Man-Bat. That is horrifying. That is certainly not the way he looked in the comics. Or excuse me, well, in the animated series. Harley Quinn, or as my old roommate called her, Harlequin. And yes, he was an adult, but he didn't know how to say it. Or he refused to say it right, I don't know. Good old Robin. Now this is the 3rd Robin, Tim Drake, or 4th? I lose track. He was the young Robin when I was growing up. Because they just killed Dick Grayson by that point. No, they didn't kill Dick Grayson, so he'd be the 4th Robin. Because they killed Jason Todd. Wonder Woman as a bird of prey. Interesting. It's almost the Birds of Prey movie font. But that's obviously from the comics. General Zod. Now he's looking badass. Kneel before Zod, indeed. Lobo. Glad he's going to be appearing in some movies coming up. It's weird how Jason Momoa is going to be both Aquaman and Lobo. Even if not in the same universe, in movies that are appearing less than like 5 years apart, but hey, whatever. Ah, Sinestro. Wearing his classic garb with his accordion ring. Nice. Ah, Metamorpho. I heard he's appearing in the new Superman movie, and I have no idea what to expect with that. Whoa! Now this is awesome. I don't know how it's coming out on film, but it's a real old school holographic Titans annual card. Is this numbered or anything? I don't know, but that's an awesome card. Wow. That's old. Those used to be pretty, not common, but that used to be a big deal. Blood Scarab. Yeah, compared to that, sorry. You always get really distracted by one. And Zatanna, I really enjoyed her in the JLA in the late 90s. I was not familiar with her at all growing up. And then all of a sudden she appeared, and I enjoyed her music. Or her magic, her music. Well, for all I know, she makes music too, but that's not something they ever covered. Livewire. I don't even know what to make. Who's this person? Where does she appear? She's from Superman. Okay, makes sense. Trinity. So another rookie. I believe we saw her earlier. Black Canary. That's an awesome piece of art there. Cassandra Cain as Batgirl. Now that's really a comic or animated series-esque look right there. The way the head is shaped. And then Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw. Another from the reign of Superman. He must be back at the moment. Yep, looks like he's currently appearing in Action Comics. So that's awesome. He was always pretty terrifying. But that reign of Superman originally, who was Superman? People really weren't sure. You knew it wasn't John Henry Irons. Pardon me, and you knew it wasn't Superboy. But it could have been the Cyborg, and it could have been the Eradicator. So that was what made it interesting. And it was neither. Good old Hal Jordan, my favorite. So now I have knocked off just about everyone on my list I care about except Booster Gold, which is unfortunate, but I still have another pack, and I still have the future to find Booster. Black Adam from Beast World. I guess he was a lion. That's pretty awesome. Brick. I will not spend much time on you because I don't know you. But that is some cool holographic background. Oh, it's numbered also, is it? 180 out of 499. Not bad. So far, 2 numbered. The holographic. Cards I care about. Batman. That's an amazing sketch of Batman there. Wow, I wonder who did that. Let's see if it says. I'm having trouble seeing it on the back quickly, but this appears to be from Batman 141 in March 2024, so I should be able to look that up at some point if I want to for myself. And Killer Moth, not someone I'm familiar with. Seems like they'd be an adversary for Ant-Man in the Marvel Universe. But hey, you take what you can get. Come on, Booster. Come on, Booster Gold. All right, let's go. Brick, I just saw you, but without a cool background. That's frustrating. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's always awesome. Martian Manhunter. Now again, this looks like an animated series type animation or type sketch. So Amanda Waller. She is terrifying in the books and in the movies. And the Huntress. So all in all, pretty awesome. I gotta say, I'm a little bummed I didn't get a Booster Gold, but with the Hal Jordan, with the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, with this awesome thing, with the Batman I got, with the Superboys, I think this was overall an amazing box, an amazing set. I might try to pick up some scattered ones on eBay, or pick up another box, to be honest. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I had a pleasure opening it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and pay attention for the next video that comes out. I think next time I'm doing some Marvel Secret Wars cards. from Upper Deck. So that should be fun. All right, take care.